So basically, we're gonna, you know, just try to finish this up here. I'm thinking, we can get all this built. I mean, I gotta get the furnace built at some point as well. But we also gotta get, the things so we can get all the plastic. But we're gonna probably end up requiring for, like the boards and that we're gonna probably need for over there. But we are gonna build some of this as well. So that build the refinery so that we can get some plastic, not that we're gonna get a lot of it at a time, but we're gonna get some. I mean, it just depends. So I'm gonna build some storages at least, eventually. This is the eventual plans, right? Is build all the storages that I need for like the wood. And, we're gonna have to probably end up building a saw at some point, I believe you do. Plus a seed generator. I just believe that this helps you do that. I can't remember. But, just from what I remember. Because I remember, like, looking this kind of tutorial up to see, like, what materials I might need. But, again, a lot of the materials that I need are not hard to get. So, that's always good. But, other than that, it's just raw materials. So, there's nothing really left to do. But, you gotta mine it. But you also gotta make sure that, you got all the panels clean. And, man, is that a pain. But, you can activate the drill to get a bunch of iron. So, that's what I've been doing. At least to get, like, the raw iron that we're going to require. Because we're going to require probably a lot of it. Anything else? So, I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I know that we have to make a lot of different materials. I'm going to start building this. Not that we're going to finish that. But we'll get, generally that done. And then I might start just stacking the pieces eventually. Because I just, I can't be bothered, Not that I can't be bothered, it's just that I can't be bothered to finish it before, the tutorial tells you to do it. Which is kind of like what a problem is. If the tutorial doesn't tell you to build it, then you don't get, like, you have to build another one. Which I found out. Which is why we got 2 workbenches. Though I was going to do the 2 workbench thing anyway, so it's kind of like one of those, well, I was already going to do that, so, it's just what we're going to do, but put some iron in that. So, I'm just basically, trying to get it all finished, It's pretty easy. It's just the more that we're, gonna get, we're gonna end up having to build way more, cards and this and that. By the way, we'll end up having to probably build a second workbench because I built that workbench before the tutorial told us. So that's what I'm assuming anyway. Like, it's just the way that it goes. But I figured I might as well keep going to get that kind of finished, right? Get things kind of started, right? Is kind of like what my main goal is. At least, and also pull up my flashlight, but we're gonna be doing that, I feel, quite a bit. So, it's just, all that iron that we're gonna have to get. We could go mine, but I really don't want to right now. So, that's kind of what we're waiting for. And then, like I say, I'm just trying to finish certain projects and get certain tasks that I know I'm gonna get done. And it's just, it takes me a while, okay? But I've already, like, I don't understand, right? I if I've already built the workbench, why it couldn't just skip that task? So eventually I have to build another workbench, and I'm gonna need more iron. So that's what we're gonna do, but we're just gonna use the wood to fire this stuff for right now, because, you know, wood's pretty easy to get, and I really didn't feel like going to mine at the time. So, you know, there's gonna be a point where it's gonna be like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to mine. Well, right now is not that time. So, you know, just the way it goes. And I know we don't have the luxury, you know, of, you know, doing that, but it's like also at the same time, I'm trying to get all the components made for these, you know, machines that it wants you to build, and, you know, it's like, yeah, it's about halfway, and I would probably have to build like another 3 or so. So that's kind of why I'm like, do I just wait, like, build them, but like wait to, you know, actually do anything with them? So I mean, there's that. So, you know, it's kind of like that. But I figured we're gonna see what we can get done. We got some of that done. We'll have to get, you know, this refinery was easier to build. Maybe we can, you know, build these parts, but yeah, it's kind of like, now, do I just build that? Which I might. You know. But the more that I build in this game, I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do, kind of. I'm getting tired of building 2 of everything, it sometimes seems like. Like, I'm gonna build another workbench. So, we will have, by the end of this, 2 workbenches. I don't know why I clicked random button. That was not what I wanted anyway. Why it does that, I don't know. So, I mean, it's kind of like, I didn't wanna, but I kind of had to. You know, there's that. And you need the iron for like this. And then I'll just have to smelt more iron. Which means I might have to go mine for some. Which does not make me happy, but I'll do it. If the drill is not running, that is, then I would have to, you know, go and get it. But because I knew we were going to need a bunch of iron anyway, I'm going to leave this machine run. I think I might try to work towards, like, after we get out of this tutorial, right? We'll get, like, because I can build, once I build that, you know, that tubular furnace, you know, it's gonna be, like, pretty easy to do whatever I want. So, there's that, you know, and then it's like, whenever we get this done, right, it's probably gonna ask us to build this or build that. And I didn't make, you know, think to check and see if we had, like, any bamboo or anything. But, you know, it's like, I thought we'd be okay. But, so, that's just the plan. The plan is just, you know, complete the tutorial as much as we can. And, again, I'm sorry, I could have broken, or, you know, made this a little bit longer, but I kind of feel like, you know, breaking it up, because I don't feel like doing hours and hours, you know, of a tutorial, if that's what it is. I don't know how long the tutorial even is, but let's say it's, you know, half the gameplay time. Well, I don't want to spend half my gameplay time, you know, just building for the tutorial, I guess is the best way to put it. You know, and it's fine, it's just not what I want to do right now. I thought I plucked one too many trees, but then I have all the seeds on the ground, and no. But yeah, we're just gonna keep pretty much building what I need, and then we could probably, at some point, I don't know if we have to get bamboo or grab it if it's already made up. The seeds and that are already made up for us. I can't remember. And I keep hitting that flashlight key for whatever reason, because it always happens when you try to drop things. I have noticed, so like, yeah, it's just like, okay, well, let's manufacture this and manufacture that and just kind of keep it as best as we can, while also trying to like build a workbench and also keep all the fires going. There, now the workbench is done, and now it's gonna tell us to complete something else, you know? So, you know, I feel like we're getting around pretty quick in the tutorial. But it's like certain things that I build, it's like, why? Yeah, I was looking at some of the stuff that I would have to build and how much materials that's gonna take, which is a lot. You know, but we're gonna get there. I mean, eventually we'll build that. So, you know, I have to look and see what it's trying to tell us to build, and then I'll build it. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'll spend 2 iron on that project anyway. And then we'll have to, you know, use more logs. Not for firing a fire, mind you. Which, you know, I kind of wish I could. But as I just stand around and wait pretty much for iron, there's not much more I can do, really. You know, it's just the way it's gotta be. So, just waiting, you know, pretty much for the iron. Okay, now I got the blade. It's probably gonna be that saw table, or whatever it's called. I call it a rip saw, but, you know, it's whatever. It's probably more like it looks more like a table saw or something like that, but I don't know. Am I gonna have to move stuff? I don't want to move stuff. Okay, so I don't have to move things. There's the blade. Now, can I just put the blade into there already? And then I can move those about. Get more iron. Because I have a feeling that it's going to take more logs at some point. Because this game is just known for, you know, eating through at least the wood. We need 8 iron. Holy. It's not that we don't have it, you know, enough of that. We just gotta wait for the wood to grow, so that I can actually throw it in there to fire up these, you know, all the stuff that we need. And then we got this over here, which we gotta build too. We gotta build this, you know, furnace. Which, let me tell you, somewhat hard. By the way, I will love the day, right? I will love the day. They have these things right now, which they're like washers for like your solar panels, so you won't have to, you know, go out there and wash them. And I will love when we get to that point too, because it's like every few minutes it feels like sometimes it'll be like, oh, well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you know, and then that's just how it goes. So I don't know, I might build this the thing that holds all the seeds and that eventually. I haven't yet, but I feel like that might be a good idea. So I hate that every time you hit the ball, like the pick it up, like the like whatever's in there that falls out, that you can make fall out, right? And every time you do that, you can accidentally grab it and just start moving it again, which is not something you want to do. However, there's just some, you know, happen to be some, you know, iron just laying right there, which is kind of nice. So I guess there's enough probably sitting around the store then, maybe, because I've been seeing them around the store, like, and every time I try to clean. So I'm assuming that's what you can do for them, for at least that raw material that you're gonna need. But other than that, it's like, I don't know about that, you know. And then it's like, oh, well, you know, we're really going. And then it's just what we do. So, I mean, there is that. I'm trying my best right now to just smelt enough iron to get through it. Eventually, it's going to be like, okay, well, we need a pallet to hold the iron. It will feel like, you know. But we have to smelt that much iron. Plus, I gotta build the rest of that so that we can get plastic. Which, you know, kind of like how it's gonna go, it feels like. But, yippee! That's built. And now we have to take a couple for each side, so we got 3. Yeah, it's like it. Yeah, I don't get it. The trees don't build fast enough for me to actually warrant building it out of that. Like, I'd much rather build it out of something else. But nope, it's not. There's just nothing for me to do right now. Because, you know, I don't have a fridge or anything upstairs at the moment, so I don't have to worry about customers or anything like that, right? So there's really nothing right now for me to do except for stand around and just wait. That's it. That's all. I mean, there's nothing more I can do. I have to stand here and wait. But yeah, I'm just waiting to build the rest of that furnace right there. I'm not gonna be happy probably with the power draw, because it's probably gonna, like, you know, make us probably lose our minds, the power draw at least. Okay, are these done? No, not yet. Because of course they can't be, so we'll just get back to smelting iron. That's all I can do at this point. So, I mean, we're probably gonna have to eventually, you know, finish some of the other projects like I have been doing. Like, you know, just looking at what I need for, you know, the furnace. It's probably gonna tell us to build the furnace and then all the other stuff. But, you know, we could still continue to build whatever we need. Which, I'm gonna build another one of those just to make sure that I don't need it. But, you know, I might not, I'm not sure. But it's always better to be one step ahead. So, there you go. Now we're gonna take some of the wood, place it over here, build that, at least get that finished. So that project now is, you know, now finished. We don't have any finished, so we can't really do that. And I wish we could. I'll move these out of the way for a minute. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. So we're gonna replant that. So that does not take that. I think it takes copper. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make as much iron as I need, because I never know how much I'm gonna need. So that's kind of why. You know, that's why we do what we do. So that's what we're gonna do. I could build another one of these eventually, and then have 2 constantly running. But I don't intend. What is that? I don't intend to build any more than I need right now. So, I mean, besides, you know, putting water that keeps always drying up, I can't wait to build like a spigot down here in the basement so that I don't have to run back and forth with all the stuff. So I will eventually get there, but have the iron. Okay, so I could build the furnace, you know, but I'm just gonna smelt what I have here that needs to be smelted. And I would much rather just smelt whatever I got, keep the furnaces running as best as I can, and just keep them, you know, going on something, even if it's not what I need right at the current time. And, you know, that's just what I've decided is if it doesn't, even if I don't need it right, specifically right now, but if I wanted to build like another saw or, you know, just something like that, I have the iron just sitting around. You know, then I could just do that project easily, knock it out, and be done. Now, I am thinking about making more planters, though. So, I might do that. And then eventually, you know, I might go... Once this is up and running again. Depends on how it goes. And not really sure how I'm going to do it, but... Besides hitting my flashlight every time. But, you know, it's just nothing I can do. So, you know, I'm gonna do what I can. I'm just doing what the tutorial is telling me to do so I can be done with it eventually. And then do my own thing. Which, I mean, I could do my own thing now. It's like, whatever. Now I'll build the foundry, which guess what? I already have pretty much all the parts for already built. This is why having everything already pre-built is good to go. And then it's going to probably tell me to make some. And then that's what I'm going to have to end up doing next, probably. Why? I don't know. But there you go. And then it's going to tell me to build something else. So, you know, getting that plastic. And then we get to build the tube furnace. Oh, we ran out. The furnaces finally ran out. But because I had some iron just kind of sitting around, I can build things that I don't really need to do anything else with. So, I mean, I can't really do much. Besides keep hitting the flashlight key, because it's right near my button. Like, for moving and all that. I mean, right where my hand rests on it, so. It's kind of like whatever, and I always feel like I keep hitting it. So, like, I'm trying to like figure it out and what I can do with that. Also, I gotta refire this with hopefully some logs eventually, and then should be good to go after that. Because you know those will be, you know, remaking some things that we are going to need at some point. There you go. It's got a plastic. I don't know why. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. But I now have it. So, there's that. I have it. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. So, that's what we're going to do. And then we'll have to build this. I kind of want to build the composter at some point. Like, I've already got the blueprint for the... I kind of want to build the electric foundry, I believe they're called. Which... pretty much all that does is uses some power, which if we were to buy at some point, right, I'm gonna put this here just because eventually I'm gonna need to build. I can build all the things for that. That is not gonna be nothing, you know. I just have to cancel one of these projects eventually or build them. So I mean, there's that. We're gonna go ahead and make some of that because it's probably gonna take that to make whatever I need. So there's that. I have an iron. I do not have another iron. Now I do. And now that can go right over there. And now I'm gonna see how you build the pipes. I didn't know where they were in here because they're not really, you know, specific to like what you're building sometimes. So I had to click and just find it. So I mean, it's you know, just looking at all the different things anyway, because I'm gonna have to build some of them anyway, right? I'm gonna have to build this part, build this part, build this piece, so I get all that. I just didn't know, like, again, looking at what I need, I just didn't know, like, I was close at the time, so, you know, it's on page 1. If anybody didn't know, it's on page 1, it's like the one right beside the card. So, just in case anybody wants to know. But at this point, I was just like, where is it, you know? Flipping out because I wasn't seeing it. Thinking I was losing it. But eventually I find it, and then I become really happy. Once you find it, then you'll never forget it, right? Because, you know, when you look up some things for the tutorial, it doesn't give you everything, so I think making the pipes kind of, like, if you're building, like, the water thing, right, they should have made it, like, obvious, you know, where the pipes were for the first time. At least for the first time, I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying for the first time. So, you know, don't get mad, I'm just saying, for the first time, you know, me being, like, you know, the first time player, it's kind of, like, overwhelming to find things sometimes. So it was like, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know what when I find it, and then I will never have to worry about it. Now, I did have a thought of making, you know, like, the drill for the coal, obviously. I don't think I ever will go through with that, to be honest, but it's just an idea that I had, is like, I might need it. So it's like, okay, it's gotta be on the first page, like, most of the stuff is, right? So I was trying to find it. Again, like, I don't know when I'm gonna find it at this point, right? But eventually I'm gonna find it. It says pipes, right? And I'm like, in my head, okay, pipes, where? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing this, that, and the other for everything else. Not seeing them. But like I told you, I know where it is now. But it's like, watching it back now, it's like, why? Why did it take me so long to figure it out? I have no idea. I'm just kind of mad at myself now, but you know. And then I just was like, okay, I'm gonna walk away for a minute, then I'll find it again. I'll go do something else, you know. Because, you know, I don't know where things are at that point in time. And then I go back in and try to find it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find this eventually. And then I found it one day, and I'm just like, okay, found it. Right? It's like that one day you find something out that you wanted to find out, and then you never forgot it till this day. It's kind of like that. So, you know. I'm just saying, like, that's just the way it felt, but, you know, me being mad at myself now for now, you know, finding it. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So I'm like, okay, I got too plastic and I can't use it, right? And I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm gonna never find this thing. I'm gonna have to go do something else for a minute. I didn't, but sometimes you wonder, and then it just makes you go, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I not seeing? Right? And then I go, okay, I'm gonna do that too, because it's telling me to do it. But then it's gonna ask for priority pipes too, right? Was my thought, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I do, right? Because I know I'm gonna need iron, I'm gonna need this, and I'm gonna need that, right? But I know I'm also probably gonna need pipes. And if I haven't found the pipes, where do you find them? It's gotta be somewhere. You know, obviously I wasn't seeing it. I just think, you know, for your first time, alright, like, especially building anything with pipes, right, for your first time, I think that they should, you know, clearly spell it out. Like, hey, it's on page 1 next to this thing. And they may have, and I didn't catch on to it. But I feel, you know what I mean? It makes you feel dumb, like, when you find it. And then you're just like, oh, okay, that's where it was. And that makes me mad. Now that I find it, you know. So, I was going through and I was just like, okay. Well, it's gotta be this. It's gotta be, you know, one of these pages, right? And that's when I found out that it's on page 1, but I don't know if it's gonna be in this video or next video, but let me tell you, you know. It's just, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, do the things that I can do. Right? I'm just gonna go ahead and do the plastic thing, because, you know, that was easy. And, you know, I'm just gonna work on the simple jobs that I don't have to figure out everything. So, yeah. Yeah. But other than that, like, it felt like it took forever. But one of the panels is probably getting dirty. Or is dirty, so. You know, other than that, there's just not much to do. You know, I mean, there's not. Maybe go mine for coal, maybe? I don't know. I really don't know what else to do except for mine for that coal. I was like, okay, I don't have any wood ready, but I do have some silver. You know, it's like I got some silver, I got some of this, I got some of that. Okay, I don't really need that right now, right? I think my way of thinking was just, okay, I'm gonna make this work no matter what I gotta do, right? So, it's just the best way I can do it. It's like, okay, I can only carry one of them in at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead. You didn't even know, like, I replaced one where you know, there is no water in it right now. That's fine. You know, I just figured I'll go out and get some right now. I figured I'd just keep doing what I do, you know. But it's like, one of these episodes, it's like, I'll find it, right? But now I'm telling you guys I know where it is, but, you know, I found out the hard way. But I will, you know, put that out there, of course, in case anybody is new here and playing that game. I'm sorry, but that part was, like, challenging for even me to figure out sometimes, so. Just saying. I mean, there's that. Yeah. I mean, other than that, there's not much I can do. Other than say, yeah, I'm sorry, but I should have figured that out for myself. But I feel bad. But, you know, just saying. Sorry, but I figured I'd start bringing a lot of other ores in and just start going ham on that. Eventually we'll figure out the pipes is kind of what my theory was. Because I know I need copper and all that to build the furnace. You know, I know I'm going to need that for this and that. So, you know, just the way it goes. But that was not what I needed. We're going to need a motor. Which, you know, we kind of know what we need for that. So, it's just like, I can't wait, you know, until we have customers, right, is my thinking right now. So, you know, it's just, there's not much I can do. Like, I'm just waiting on, you know, trees to grow at this point. Like, there's nothing else for me to do. So, there's... Oop, wrong button. But I'll see you all next time.